With Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Animal Sanctuary. I am joined tonight by Ceti, our Super Dwarf Reticulated Python from Reach Out Reptiles. It's actually a little after midnight on June 7th, 2024. I meant to do this earlier, as in yesterday, June 6th, 2024, because that's a very special day for TC. It is his hatch day. So TC is now 5 years old. He was hatched on June 6th, 2019, and he has been with me since he was 8 weeks old. So he arrived the first week of August 2019. So what we're gonna do for his hatch day is I'm gonna bring the scale in here and we're gonna see how much he weighs at 5 years old, because people always seem to wanna know that. How big is your Super Dwarf Retic? And I have to say that at 5 years old, I don't think TC is very large at all. I have Brettles pythons that are bigger than he is. I have an olive python, an Australian olive python named Tindy. She is definitely larger than TC is. So he is not my biggest snake. I don't think he is very large at all for 5 years old. I know he's still growing. He gets a lot of exercise, and I don't overfeed him. So I think that he is very fit and strong and lean, and he gets regular checkups by our veterinarian, Dr. Liza Pfaff at Critter Care Animal Hospital. And she tells me that he is in great body condition and he is in great shape. And she's not worried about him getting fat at all because he gets so much exercise and we don't overfeed. So let's bring the scale in here and see what he weighs. Okay, TC, let's see what you weigh at 5 years old. And you stay on the scale. Can't climb off it just yet. 770 grams. I am not sure that that's accurate. And wonder if it's because he's sitting on my laptop. I thought he was at least 1,000 grams, so I'm gonna get a different scale and we're gonna try that. Okay, I'm gonna put him on this scale now, which is in his enrichment room, where I'm gonna turn him loose after this because I have to go feed horses. So I have him on this electronic food scale. I push tare, so it's zeroed out. It's weighing in kilograms. So let's set him on here. Are you all the way on? Okay, just making sure. 997. So that's about what I thought he weighed, and I can check and see what his most recent weight at his veterinarian's office was, but I thought it was right around 1,000 grams or 1 kilo. So yeah, 997 or 0.997, which is 997 grams. So now if I put it in grams, it says 997.5. You need to stay on here, TC. 997. So he weighs about 1,000 grams. Now I'm sure you're going to ask me, how long is TC? And we're not even going to go there. I'm not even going to try to measure his length. I can tell you that he is not 6 feet long because I have 6-foot enclosures, and he stretches completely out in or on top of those 6-foot enclosures, and he doesn't fill up the length. He is over 4 feet, and I would guess he's over 5 feet. So I think if I just had to estimate, he's probably 5 or 5.5 feet, because I have 4-foot long dog kennels and 4-foot long cages, and he is definitely longer than those. However, he is not longer than a 6-foot cage. So he is probably 5-ish feet long. So I have to go feed horses. What I'm going to do now, this room is actually his room. It's about an 8 by 12, 7.5 feet by 11.5 foot room. It just has 3 snake enclosures in it, which I'm thinking of moving out of here and putting 1 enclosure in here for TC, because this is TC's safe space. This is his enrichment space. When he's not in his habitat, TC stays in here, and I shut this door, and the bottom is fixed so that he can't get under the door. This room is 100% escape proof for him, for a snake his size. There's nothing that he can escape through. There's nothing he can get hurt on in here. This room is one of our rooms that's super easy to clean and disinfect, and we can easily keep it humid. So when he is exercising in here, it's great for him. We have a skylight in this room. So this room's perfect for TC's room. And actually, I don't let any other snakes exercise in here. It's just for him to exercise in. And he often stays in here for days at a time. He's got water in here. He's got his different activities that he likes to do in here, and it's escape proof. So at about 7.5 by 11.5 feet, it's a really good size for him. He gets to exercise, and he's actually very content in here. But sometimes I need to use this room for other things, and I take him out and put him in his enclosure, and he tends to want out right away after I do that. So some of you might be wondering what I feed TC. And I feed TC rats, mice, quail, Reptilinks, and chicks. And if you're wondering what size prey items I feed TC, it varies. I vary the meal size and the meal frequency and the number of items I feed him per meal, depending on if we're doing a complicated training session or not. If it's a long training session that I'm going to have him do several behaviors in, I want to make sure I have 2 to 4 small prey items to give him during the training session. If I'm just going to feed him one time and we're going to do a simple training session, because I do always reinforce his targeting behavior every time I feed. Even if I'm just going to do a quick feed, he still has to at least look at and move a little bit towards the target to get his food. That's when I might feed him a smaller medium rat or a chick. If we're doing training sessions where we're going to do multiple behaviors, I will feed him some Reptilinks or maybe some small quail or some mice. And then, just to vary things up, sometimes I feed him a really small meal followed by a large meal, followed by a couple of small meals, followed by 1 or 2 large meals. I just vary it because I know in the wild he isn't going to get the same size prey item at the same frequency, and it's not going to be the same type of prey, and I try to mimic that under captive management. So how frequently does he eat? That all depends on his behavior, the size of his previous meal, how much exercise he's gotten, etc. So sometimes he might get to eat 7 days apart, but other times it might be 3 weeks apart or a month apart. It just depends on a lot of factors, and how his body condition's looking, how his weight is doing. Right now, his body condition and weight are right where they need to be according to our veterinarian. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And if he seems to have a spike in appetite, activity level, if maybe he's looking a little lean, then that's when I know to feed him bigger prey items during a session, or feed him a little more frequently, or throw some extra meals in there. Happy birthday, TC. Happy hatch day, TC. 5 years old, 1,000 grams, and under 6 feet long. So I love you, TC. Thank you guys for being here. Until next time, everybody please remember to always be kind and love your animals.